Good morning, good evening, or good night, everyone. This is Lord Holland 4293, and today I am bringing you the Lo Yang review. Now, Lo Yang is one of the two premium Pan-Asian destroyers. The other one is Siliwangi, which I also do have, and I will have a review on that one coming out. But Lo Yang is an amazing destroyer. Where to begin? This is how I run my Lo Yang. Main armaments 1, engine protection room 1, torpedo tubes modification 1, propulsion and concealment. Now, Lo Yang's an interesting one because she gets two different torpedoes. So her stock torpedoes that you can put are basically Benson torps. Slow torps at 58 knots, but you get a 9.2 kilometer range. Now, she does get an alternative one, kind of like the Sims does, that have a 6.7 range, but a 71 knot torps. But they're also 2-minute reload versus about a little under a minute and a half. So obviously you want to do the longer range ones. Now for consumables, she gets a standard, smoke, American smoke, and then she gets this wonderful hydro. Now, I always recommend running the hydro. I mean, with the Lo Yang, you can put defensive AA, engine boost, and hydro. Run the hydro. Hydro is like a must. Now, the hydro has basically a 4 detection kilometer range on torps and a 5.5 detection on ships, which is great. Sub detection is 2 kilometers, which is pretty average and honestly kind of dumb. But the detection on the ships is great, so you can smoke up and pop your hydro, and as they slowly come into your range, or if you want to push them, they'll be within range of that hydro. You can catch them off guard, which is Lo Yang. This is pretty much the bread and butter of Lo Yang, is the smoke and hydro, and then the push and use your hydro. You're aggressively using these two kind of consumables to make Lo Yang work. Now, for health pool or armor plating, she's coated in 19 millimeters with a little bit of 13 millimeters, so she's very light. She has no armor, of course. Of course, since she's premium, she gets a standard, economic boost. So she pretty much gets that. For health pool, she gets with survivability expert. So she gets about 17,400. Yeah. This is only 11-point captain. So this isn't a really great captain. But I would go with preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, concealment, adrenaline rush, superintendent. So that's 16 points right there. And then I would either want to use, I'm going to use probably a gunboat kind of build. So I would go superintendent, adrenaline rush, main battery AA, and then maybe some torpedo skills. But honestly, if you wanted to use the faster torps and do, superintendent and adrenaline rush, and then put the rest into your torp power ability, you can do that. Now, I use charging beam because when I get 6 torpedoes hits, I get that 5% speed. So that's really great and all. Yeah, she has average AA, actually very decent AA. It won't save you in operations, but if you're going after one of the carriers in like Raptor Rescue or something like that, you can take on the carriers with this AA. Hermes, good luck. Maximum speed without engine boost is 38 knots, turning circle 570, and a 2.7 rudder shift. Now, if I put a speed flag on there, she goes up to 40 knots, which is still pretty good for a tier 8. Concealment-wise, with concealment module, she has a 5.8 detection, which is basically like kid detection. Let me bring up the kid for you so you can see the detection on that. Yeah, she'll get kid detection. So that's pretty great that she gets that detection. My kid is just kid is an amazing destroyer, but Lo Yang is just an amazing. She's a very unique player. It took me a long time to learn, and I just picked this ship up this year with the extra doubloons I had. Because I had this camo sitting, the beautiful Lunar New Year camo, which you can get from the Lunar New Year containers only. But if you don't have this camo, you know, this is what her stock camo looks like. It's still pretty beautiful, but if you can get your hands on the Lunar New Year camo, that's one of the most beautiful camos in the game. I was lucky enough to get it in free crates when it first came around, and it just sat in my port till I was able to get the ship this year. But as you can see, I only have about 42,000 XP on her. I haven't played her much because I've struggled with her. But, you know, I've started to finally understand her. And she is an amazing ship when used right. And we'll get into the replay version of that, and you'll see how strong she really is. Hello, and welcome to WOW's Operation Replays. And this is Lord Holland's Lo Yang replay. So, we're on Defense of Newport. I'm with Wacky again. He's in a Shokaku. I've got a North Carolina, a Kutuzov, a Hipper, an Akatsuki, and a Minsk. So it's going to be really interesting. We don't see the Kutuzov much anymore. It's kind of a relic of a bygone era, but you see him every now pop into operations.
Stand by for action.
But you see, we don't have that many battleships. We only have one. And Hipper's a great cruiser. We have great cruisers, but it's mostly purely a DD. You know, map. This is mostly a cruiser map, but we have mostly DDs on this team, so it's interesting how things are going to go. And I'm being extremely aggressive. Most DDs kind of charge out, and the Akatsuki kind of follows me out.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Now you'll see me, you know, do some odd stuff, really odd stuff, and something that is ridiculously hard to do. You can do it in a cruiser, you can do it in a battleship, but it takes skill to do it in this. And it's just being in the right ship. Now, remember I get that 5.8 detection. I'm going to hold my fire as long as possible. I'm not shooting. And then I realized, okay, I got to start shooting. Because I'm going to be detected soon. Because the Akatsuki, now I'm detected, so I start shooting. And, you know, I do take a pretty good hit there. I do pick up the Ayoba. This is where it gets kind of really hairy. Now, I have to go dark. Now, fortunately, I can go dark. Now, I lose my engine, but I just wiggle and waggle, and then once I get a fire, I manage.
Problem solved, sir.
Now, in all honesty, most players that would do this would die. I cannot count the number of times that I've seen this done with a destroyer. And the DD loses, you know, half his health and then dies. Well, I got really lucky. Because the Akatsuki spotted, so everything shoots him. So I can just go alongside this guy and just load AP in there. But there's the Citadel finally. I'll get lucky, I get 3 Citadels and I pick up that kill. I get lucky and survive that.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Now most people would be like, well, we're gonna go for the hill circle. Not me. Like I've always stressed, it's about positioning. I know I know where all the waves are gonna come from. Since they spawned in the middle, they'll be coming. Third wave's gonna come from the middle. So I gotta get into a great position to deal with that. And you can see, you know, our Minsk. Minsk is like right below me right there. You see the Akatsuki, and then he sees me charging out there. He knows I'm going to go for a torp rush. So, I'm inspiring my DDs to actually follow me out there and actually attack. Now I turn in, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to kill this DD. And I'm getting into torp runs. Remember, I got those 50-some knot torpedoes that I can use. But they're 9 km, so I can still torp things. But Wacky does an amazing job here with his
Well done, Commander.
carrier. He basically strikes both DDs with torps and knocks them out. And the Kutuzov picks up the Kabuki, so great. And I just fire on the last one to get it out. But then I can just act with impunity.
We've sunk
And
an
you see
enemy
my torps.
destroyer.
I aim for the Congo and I just shoot both sets. And then I just kind of turn in to go dark. Because I can just keep these guys spotted. And you see the Akatsuki's torps are going in. Yeah, they're like, but those are like what? I'm like 57, 58 knots. He's probably doing about 60 to 70 knot torpedoes. So of course his are all going to outrun me. And you see he drops another set. But look at how his torps are lined up. Yeah, they're good, but look at the spread on those things. And I back up. I'm just trying to spot. Look at my spotting damage. I'm up to almost 40,000 spotting damage now. Yes, he takes some damage, and I could have. And this is where I'm thinking I might get a kill, but you know, I should have hit this Baron, but I should have got a little bit more closer. You'll see my torps just barely run out. Like, barely run out. I would have had, like, 2 torps on him. And I get into a position where I can start shooting.
Smoke generator started.
Because I want some more damage. I'm only at 20,000 now. But I pop my smoke, and I load AP. And I just barely take a little pinch there. Now, you'll see me use this. Now, since I'm going back and forth, and I'm using it, I pick up the Ayoba with some AP. Now, I've got a pretty nice smoke screen here. My torps are basically back and loaded, so great. I still got my Hydro,
Torpedoes, direct front.
and I'm always watching to see torps. But with the Akatsuki spotting, I can just fire with impunity. And I get a fire, great. Now I just got a damage stack in there. And I pop my Hydro because I know the DDs are coming. And I got got like almost a minute long Hydro. And I aim and I shoot torps at the Mayoko. And I aim at my torps on the second one, and I wait to get that perfect shot where my torps will hit. Because I just wait. But I did, and then I drop my set, and then I back up. Minsk gets the kill, it's okay. Doesn't matter, I wasted a torp set, I don't really care. But see now the DDs, that Hydro, that almost 6k Hydro, coming into effect now. The DDs are driving into it now. And I can just, and they can't see me, they can't shoot me, and I can just Hydro them and gun them down. Boom, there goes the Kagero. There goes one of the torp boats. Now, we've got a Z-23 that has Hydro. Okay. Now, obviously, you would think you would get Hydro. Well, fortunately, that's not what happened. And I move forward so I can keep the spotting distance. And I knock out his engine, great. And and I see the torps coming. The Hydro spots the torps. And I pick up the Z. Now look at that, I'm at 5,000 health now. Now this is where it was like, oh, it's gonna be close. I just barely scraped that torpedo. There's another close instance where I should have died. And I just start shooting now, because, I can see the torp. But it's whatever. And I see the it's at this point that I've already made up my mind what I'm gonna do. And this is where I want you viewers to pay attention. This is where, and the Kutuzov was saying, repair DDs, please. So most of the DDs head back. I don't. I've already made up my mind what I'm gonna do. And they're and the North Coast saying, get back, get back. Well, I just ignore it. I ignore it. I don't care. There's enough ships down there to help protect him, and Wacky's going to go help, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm getting you all know what I'm gonna do. The question is, can I pull it off? Yes, I got my hydros almost off cooldown, 40 seconds. I got plenty of time for it to reload. My smoke's off cooldown, my torps are off cooldown. I'm all set and ready. It's just about waiting. Now you're thinking, okay, you don't have that much damage. You're only at 60,000, but you got 7 kills. Kudos. You want a medal or something? Well, I'd love a medal. But, yeah, I've only got 1 torp hit. Okay. But I back up. I start getting into my positioning. As I always stress on this channel, positioning. If you understand the positioning, you will easily always rack up the damage numbers. You'll rack in the free XP, you'll rack everything in. But you need that positioning. Now see, I see them coming in, they've spawned, and I'm ready. But I don't shoot. And I'm not loading my torps yet, because I know they're not going to be up to speed yet. I wait till I feel they're absolutely ready. And they protected the Roma. Now you see, Z's not really moving, and they're not really the indicator's not really moving much anymore. So I just kind of slow down, and then I drop both sets.
Smoke generator started.
And I can't see anything now. So I just smoke up, and I pop my hydros, to be aware of, the torps. Wacky's already knowing what I'm doing, and I ask drop a fighter. He drops a fighter instantly on me, so I'm protected now. I have his support. I have eyes in the sky now. I can do what I want to do. And I probably say thank you. And I see right there, 2 torps on the Kitakaze. But I go forward, and then I go back. There's 2 torps on the Z. Z goes down to Wacky. My guns are going in, and I just blind shoot. And boom, there's my natural selection.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
And so at this point, I got 40 seconds for my torp. But my hydro's still spotting the Musashi at this point. And I've got a minute of hydro on this guy. So I just kind of back up, I keep my distance from him, and I just keep shooting. I just keep trying to aim for the superstructure, trying to get those fires on him, trying to get that one fire where it just DCPs it. There's the fire. He DCPs it. Great. So now I just got to stack the fires up. Now, I don't know why I pressed G. I don't know why. Now, see, there's one fire. There's another fire that's permanent. My torps are back up unloaded, so I back up. And I just keep shooting, because I'm within detection range now. In 1, yep, there it is, the detection range. There's another fire. And I drop my torps. And the Musashi drives straight into him. All 10 torps on the Musashi. Yes, you would think, okay, I'm gonna go down. But, he's got double floods. And he's got fires burning. He's going down.
Enemy battleship sunk.
206,000 damage. Ray and natural selection. I have practically sunk the whole middle wave by myself in a destroyer, working on a 7,000 health for the last like 10 minutes. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna start shooting him, because there is no way that Amagi's gonna get me. No way he's gonna shoot me. So I just start shooting openly. And then I realized, okay, I gotta smoke. My smoke's back up. I'm gonna smoke up, and I'm just gonna farm this guy now. Let's get some more damage. I'm just gonna get some more damage. Wacky's going in with his planes. They're taking on the Mince. Mince picks up the Genizen out. The Rune's gonna go down. Rune goes down to Northco. Now it's just this little tiny, you know, battleship here. But as you guys can see, you can literally see how one DD can rack up so much damage and do so much chaos when the positioning and when he has the right consumables and just everything. A DD is a great tool in operations, but you've got to know how to use it. And this is literally positioning at its best. Like, yes, you can kill the Musashi with a mines or a vibration, and you can use a battleship, but it is extremely difficult to nigh impossible to do it in a destroyer and live. And I've done it. 217k.